So you're thinking about moving to Northwest Arkansas. Well, in today's video, we're going to be giving you our updated pros and cons. We've already done one of these videos in the past, but we're going to do an update here and kind of hit on some more maybe kind of controversial topics and go over exactly what I think is some important information that you need to know before making the move here. So stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. If this is your first time to the channel, this is Living in the Ozarks. On this channel, we go over everything you would ever need to know about moving to or living in Northwest Arkansas and Southwest Missouri. So if this is your first time here and you guys want to stay up to date on everything you would ever need to know about those certain topics, then be sure to hit the subscribe button down below, as well as that bell. That way you're notified every single time we put out new videos just like this one here. And if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Chris, and me and my team help people make the move here every single day to the beautiful Ozarks, and we absolutely love it. So if that is you and you are considering making that move here, be sure to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. It doesn't matter if you're looking to move tomorrow or next year. Me and my team would absolutely love to help you make that move as easy as possible. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and hop into this video where we are going to be talking about the pros and cons, not just the pros and cons, but the updated pros and cons of living in Northwest Arkansas. We actually did a video about this before last year, and we're going to kind of hit on some more kind of controversial topics and some stuff that we think is really important that you need to be aware of before making the move here. That way you can make the best decision for you and your family. We have already made a pros and cons video last year where we kind of go over your more basic pros and cons, and so I would definitely suggest checking that out after this video. But today, it's like I was saying, we're going to go over, kind of give you more of, you know, kind of a raw feel of what the area is actually like, our honest opinions about it, and what, instead of going through your normal pros and cons where we say, you know, here's a pro, here's a con, here's a pro, here's a con, and back and forth like most people do, we're actually going to go through, talk about a certain subject or a topic, and then we're going to tell you kind of, in our opinion, why it may be a pro for some or a con for others. So that's what we're going to do in this video, and we're getting after it right now. As you can see, we're actually currently in Bella Vista, Arkansas. We're at a beautiful little lake called Lake Ann, and this is kind of the where the trailhead's at for like the parking for the trails. The little tiny boat dock here. It is a smaller lake, but it's a lake that I really enjoy coming to. It is part of the POA here in Bella Vista. So to gain access to these lakes, you do have to be part of the Properties Owners Association. But there's some workarounds around that too, which we can talk about whenever you give us a call about the area. But anyways, just want to kind of show you this beautiful area. It's a gorgeous, smaller lake. But we're going to go ahead and jump into these pros and cons, these updated pros and cons. And we're going to start out with that first one being the number of people that are actually moving to Northwest Arkansas. All right, so it is no surprise now that Northwest Arkansas is definitely growing. It's one of the fastest growing metros in the entire country. I don't remember if it's top 10, but I believe that it is. It's definitely booming and growing. You know, that is definitely due in part to Walmart, Tyson's Foods, JB Hunt, just a few of the Fortune 500 companies that are headquartered here. So it definitely is. The economy's good. You know, it's got great job growth, and people really enjoy life here in Northwest Arkansas. So with that being said, the one thing that it does do, obviously, is it draws in more people who are looking to actually live here. So that obviously, with more people, that's good and bad for a lot of different reasons. Arkansas was actually one of the most moved into states last year in 2021. So, you know, we've kind of been flying under the radar for a long time. It's a beautiful area with numerous lakes, a lot of wildlife. Obviously, the Ozark Mountains, the Ozark National Forest. Arkansas has a lot of good things going for it, honestly. So people are starting to take note of that now, and with that, more people are starting to move here. So why could that be a pro and why could that be a con for certain people? Well, obviously the pro is that there's more people, it's driving the economy up, it's driving home prices up, it is causing, you know, more awareness to the area, which just means, you know, there's bigger amenities coming here. You know, it's starting to be one of your bigger metros. So pros for that would definitely be the fact that, you know, you buy a house now, and obviously your equity goes up because home values are still increasing here with the population growth. It's actually predicted that by well, in the next 25 years, that we're supposed to double our metro size. So we're just a little over 500,000 people now. So if we double, then we're looking at a metro of over 1 million people, which would definitely put us up there with those bigger metros. So obviously some people like that, some people do not like that. You know, kind of the thing that you hear about a lot is people, you know, don't move here, you're running the area, just like we hear everywhere else. But Northwest Arkansas has grown so rapidly that most people saying that aren't from here anyways. They're not actual locals, and you're definitely not getting that from the majority of people. But you will hear it here and there, mainly on the internet and in this comment section. But it's one of those things, I don't believe that we're, you know, making people make that move here. If you're going to move here, then you're going to move here. We just want to kind of show you the area and give you our opinion about it. So like I was saying, the pros for this is definitely the fact that it's a growing area. The home prices are going up, which I know is kind of a con in and of itself. But if you get in early enough, then your home value goes up and your equity, and so you're making more money on that home purchase. Cons, obviously, the home prices are going up. You know, the one biggest con that I would say that not everyone thinks about is the fact that, you know, we're not really built to handle that many people at the moment. And what I mean by that is our infrastructure, our road infrastructure, just the construction that's going on here when it comes to road work, and different buildings that are going up. And just, you know, it's kind of creating this log jam for traffic and other things. You know, no one in this area ever thought that it was going to be this big, so our infrastructure is definitely lacking, but that's something that they are working on. So that's a con. The other con is, like I was saying, if you're coming here and looking for, you know, small town Arkansas, this really isn't the place now. There is certain pockets and certain neighborhoods and little subdivisions and suburbs, obviously, but for the most part, it is starting to be a booming economy and a booming metro. So I would definitely say that the biggest con is going to be you're kind of losing that small town feel while also having those increases in prices. All right, so with this next topic, we are going to get into a little bit more of a controversial topic, and that's going to be the political landscape. Now, just to be upfront, Arkansas is definitely more of a red state. It's a conservative state. It's a right-leaning state for sure. You know, it's a Republican state, and that's what most people like about the area. Now, it's not to say that there's no, you know, that's the only people that are here, because that's definitely not the case. And I'm not going to get into who's right, who's wrong. That's your own personal opinion, and obviously you have the right to think however you want to. And like I was just saying I think that's how most people here in Northwest Arkansas think. They're not going to attack you for a lot of your beliefs. Obviously, there is extremists on both sides, but for your everyday life here, there is places that go a little more liberal. I would say that Bentonville is definitely the most liberal area here, but it is still the majority conservative. So if you're looking for, you know, if you're looking for an area that is more on that, you know, liberal side, it is going to be hard to find it here. So that's just kind of, you know, I don't want to get into who's right, who's wrong on it, like I was saying, but I do want to give you kind of the, you know, kind of the lay of the land when it comes to the politics here. The one thing that I will say is most people here are very understanding. So, you know, they're going to stay to themselves. As long as you're not trying to change their opinion on things, they're honestly not going to care what your beliefs are or what your politics are. It's mainly the thing with Northwest Arkansas and this whole area around here, the Ozarks, it seems like that as long as you're not trying to push your ideas on people, they're not really going to care. They're going to leave you alone on that, you know, on your thinking on that, and let you do life however you want to. So I think it's really great about being around here. But if you are a conservative, it's a great area. If you are more on the left side, it's still a great area for you. There is definitely going to be a place for you here. It's not a, you know, a lot of the stereotype of Arkansas is that it's, you know, it's totally conservative, it's a red state, and that if you're a liberal, stay out. I would say that the only way that really applies here is if you're someone that tries to push your ideas on other people. Like I was saying, I'm not trying to start a debate here, but that is definitely how I feel, in my opinion, of our local area here. So pros and cons, not gonna hit on it too much because it is kind of a touchy subject. If you are a conservative, it's a great area for you. If you're a liberal, it's a great area for you. Most people here are very accepting. So regardless of what your political landscape is, I honestly, in my opinion, feel that you will fit in here very well. It's not going to be a big issue in any way. You know, there's going to be pockets. Now, obviously, we have good and bad people wherever you go who are a little more on the extreme side. But for your everyday life here, doesn't matter what your politics are, as long as you're not trying to push your agenda on people to say, you're going to be fine here. All right, our number 3 topic is going to be the weather. I know I said that we were trying to do more of not your typical pros and cons, but I do want to talk about the weather here in Northwest Arkansas, more specifically the humidity. That's the thing that we get the question on the most for sure, is the, you know, what is the humidity like here? We heard that it's horrible. Not gonna lie to you, the humidity can definitely suck here at different times during the year in those hotter months. It's not too fun with the humidity here. It is something that you get used to, though. I can say that for sure. I've spent some time in my life in Florida and in Texas, and I don't think the humidity is near as bad as I'm there. I will say the one nice part about the humidity in Florida is you have the ocean there, so you kind of get that ocean breeze, and that definitely does help. But the humidity here is definitely a real thing. You know, if it's hot out and you can get sweaty and sticky and feel like there's something poured on you, honestly, just by walking to the grocery store in some of those really extreme days. That's not the normal, that's not how it normally is here, though. We do have humidity here, that kind of Midwestern humidity, which, like I was saying, there's no ocean, so it is kind of rough. But it's something that you just get used to. I think it's a small price to pay for the type of weather that we have here year round. We get all 4 seasons, so you have your winter, your spring, your summer, your fall, and then some of those summer months, you know, the humidity definitely does kick in and go up a couple notches, and it can be, you know, a little irritating and it takes some time to get used to. Most people here just see it as something that they deal with. It's not one of those things where it's a, you know, a month on month in thing. For the most part, our weather here is pretty enjoyable. You know, you're gonna have, you know, it's this year's been kind of a different story. We've been getting like 104, 105 degrees, and it's just been insanely hot. But for the most part, it doesn't usually get over 95 for your averages. Obviously, I'm talking. It's not going to get over 95 a lot of the times, and it's also not going to go below that 30-degree mark. It does in times, obviously. It freezes here, it gets super hot here. But for your averages, it really is a pleasurable weather. So whenever it comes to the pros and cons of weather, obviously the pro is that we get all 4 seasons here. We usually have very mild and enjoyable weather. The one kind of joke about this area is if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes and then it will change. You know, that's what most people say. I don't really agree with that to the extent, but I do see where they are coming from with certain types of weather systems that we get through here. But for the pros, for all 4 seasons, mostly mild weather. It is enjoyable. The cons are obviously if you don't want to deal with that humidity, you know, you're going to have to, if look there, you got a fish or a turtle, but you're going to have to deal with that humidity if you want to live here in certain times of the year. The other con obviously is going to be if you're someone who wants like a Florida area where it's always a certain temperature for the most part, to where you don't have those 4 seasons. Well, then this obviously is not the place for you. I'm just being honest. But if you want those 4 seasons, if you want that mostly enjoyable weather, this is a great place to call home for sure. All right, so our next topic is going to be the affordability here in Northwest Arkansas. Now, this has changed quite a bit in this last year. I've got a feeling that it's going to keep changing. Don't know exactly which direction. I don't have a crystal ball to tell you what the housing market is going to do. I can just tell you my opinion on it, which is something that we can definitely talk about if you give us a call. We can talk about kind of what we're seeing in our local real estate market to kind of give you an idea of what we are predicting. But whenever it comes to affordability, this has changed a lot here in Northwest Arkansas. Last year, you could get into a really nice house for about 20% less. So what that means is that you are getting, you know, most people who, you know, say you could get a $250,000 house. So say you were approved for a $250,000 loan here this time last year, then that could get you going off the average price per square foot here in Northwest Arkansas. Obviously, this is going to vary greatly depending on where you are. I'm not saying that you can't get a bigger house than this here or a smaller house for these different prices, but for the average price per square foot here in Northwest Arkansas. But if you got a $250,000 loan and you were approved for that mortgage last year, that could get you about a 2,000 square foot home. Now, obviously, like I was saying, that's going to vary greatly depending on where you actually end up in what area. But today you're talking 1,500 square feet if you went off the average price per square foot. So you're getting about 20% less home just in a year's time. So the affordability has definitely changed. But if you look at the median home price for the United States, we're still way under that. So there is affordable areas here. It is still an affordable place. It's just not as affordable as last year. The reasons for that, obviously, it's a growing metro. There's more people coming here. You know, like our first topic, you know, the amount of people moving here, it definitely is a real thing, and it affects a lot of the affordability here. Just like everywhere else, you're seeing price increases across the board when it comes to gas. I actually just went by the gas station earlier on the way here, and I actually saw gas for $3.16 a gallon. So I don't know what that is compared to your area, but that's kind of what you're looking at here on like gas prices, stuff like that. We do have a cost of living video that we did last year. We are going to update that one too, and hopefully we'll have that one out here soon to kind of give you an idea of what the updated cost of living is here. But affordability, it still is a real thing here in Northwest Arkansas. It's just not as affordable as it was, 12 months back or 2 years back, obviously. If you're looking for an affordable place for a good area, I still think this is a really good option for most people, So we've kind of hit on the pros and cons on that one. Best time to buy would have been last year. Next best time is today, obviously. With that population planning on doubling in the next 25 years, you're in a pretty good spot to have a good investment when it comes to real estate here. If we really are going to double, and no one has a crystal ball, obviously, to actually know, but even if it's close or even if it's only half right, your investment here when buying a home is still going to be a good investment. So if you're looking for an affordable place compared to the national average, compared to the rest of the US on average, still a great place for you. Sorry if you didn't get in here last year, but we can't live in the past, so the next best time to buy is now. So if that's something that you guys are thinking of, you can give us a call and we can talk with you more about that. All right, so we got one more topic that I want to hit on. Unfortunately, I'm getting rained out, so we're going to head over here to this little picnic pavilion and finish this video. But I guess I was proven wrong in this video in real time about if you don't like the weather here in Northwest Arkansas, just wait 5 minutes and it'll change. Because as you can see, we've got the clouds moving in and we are starting to get the rain. So we're gonna go over here real quick and we'll finish this video up for you guys. All right, here we are. We are at this beautiful picnic pavilion. This is kind of cool though. This is down here on Lake Ann. It's a smaller lake. As you can see, kind of got this beautiful grass area and the shoreline. Then you got the little bluffs that are over there, boat dock, fish cleaning area, bathroom. I think it's actually just like a porta potty. So I don't know if I would recommend that. But anyways, this is a no-wake lake, so you're not taking big boats on or anything like that. But it's perfect for kayaking, paddle boarding, trolling motors, stuff like that. But this is one of my favorite lakes. I mean, I know it's small and a lot of people don't actually like it. I think it's great. You got a little picnic area here, barbecue grill. There's a couple of them over there. Just a really, really cool place in my opinion. Good for the kids. Come out here. They have a place where you can rent, I can put it in there, where you can rent canoes and kayaks, stuff like that. But anyways, let's hit on this last topic. I apologize if it's a little dark. We're under this. We don't really have the sun now. But our last topic is going to be the bugs here in Northwest Arkansas. I know everywhere has bugs. You're going to deal with them wherever you go. We are the natural state. We're surrounded by the Ozark National Forest. There's wildlife, there's lakes, there's a lot of more rural areas. So if you're someone coming from somewhere that's not really this outdoorsy or this, this much wildlife and, just the forest areas, it is something that you're gonna have to deal with here. If you're in the city, it's not a big deal. It's gonna be just like any other city that you ever lived in. As long as you're clean, as long as you keep your property clean, you are gonna be totally fine. The biggest thing here that I want to hit on when it comes to bugs is going to be the mosquitoes. There is another joke that goes around here in Northwest Arkansas that the state bird ought to be the mosquito here for Arkansas. I don't think it's near that bad. Talking about being in Florida for a while, I think Florida is way worse when it comes to the mosquitoes. Maybe it's just the area that I was in. But it is something, if you're not used to it, we have mosquitoes here. We have ticks. A lot of people kind of worry about that if they've never been around a place that has ticks, you know, Lyme disease and all that stuff. I've been bitten by ticks 1,000 times. I've never had any kind of issues with it. As long as you get them off quick, you're totally fine. If you go out and like to hunt and fish like me and my family do, you know, it's kind of the routine that whenever you get back in, go take a shower, check wherever you need to, make sure that there's no ticks latched on to you. Get them off real quick and you're going to be completely fine. But other than that, we have cicadas here. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with those, but in the, you know, around this time of the year and these summer times, they can be quite annoying. They kind of make this screeching sound, but you know, they really are harmless. But yeah, you know, just be aware of, it's not really bugs, should be really the topic, but just kind of the different wildlife, the insects, the snakes, the spiders, you know, black widows, brown recluses. Those are kind of your poisonous spiders here. You definitely want to watch out for those. You know, make sure, you know, you're keeping up with your pest control in your home. Well, the one thing that we always recommend, obviously, is getting your house treated on an annual basis just to make sure that everything's good. The other thing would be that we are a termite state, so we do have termites here. You need to make sure that you're keeping up. Whenever you do buy and purchase a home here, you need to make sure that you're keeping up on your termite treatment. It's not that expensive. I believe that most of our buyers pay like $200 a year for their annual treatments. So definitely not a big deal there. Now, whenever you buy a home here too, we will get a letter of clearance for a termite inspection. So that's a big deal. And then, you know, just your basic bugs. Obviously, now, like I was saying, this isn't going to be a huge deal if you're, you know, living in town or in the suburbs. It's mainly going to be if you're outside of town, more in those rural areas where you have some land. Maybe you're going to need to watch out for those snakes, because we have rattlesnakes here, we have copperheads, you know, a lot of different poisonous snakes here, because it is the natural state. We're surrounded by these beautiful, you know, just outdoor areas. I think it's a small price to pay for the beautiful area, but just something I want you guys to keep in mind. Obviously, pros and cons when it comes to bugs and animals and insects and all that stuff. I don't know many people that like bugs. I know there's probably some. I'm not one of them for sure. I'm not a big fan of snakes. I'm definitely not a big fan of spiders. But, you know, just be aware. Keep up with your annual and your pest control, your termite control, all of that stuff. Keep a bottle of the off mosquito spray. That would be a very handy thing here if you are going to go out on the lake, or, you know, in it, like you go hunting or anything like that. Just be aware. Pros and cons obviously don't have to go along with that. You know, there's bugs. Just take the precautions when it comes to the snakes, the spiders, and everything else. All right, so that is going to do it for our updated pros and cons list about living in Northwest Arkansas. Hopefully that brought you guys some value. Hopefully it gave you some information that maybe you weren't aware of about the area, and just made it a little easier for you to make your decision about moving here to Northwest Arkansas. But if you guys have any questions, be sure to check out some of our other videos. Be sure to subscribe down below and hit that bell, that way you're notified every time we put out new videos about the current real estate market and about the area. But until next time, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, however you guys want, reach out to us, whether it's today or next year when you're looking to make that move. Me and my team would absolutely love to help you make that move as easy as possible. But right now, looks like the rain has finally subsided, and we are going to make it to the truck so we can get out of here. But until the next time, hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.